Hey gorgeous, it's Cara from carawild.com, and there are a couple of things I wanted to share with you today. On this video I wanted to give you a bit of an update on what's happening in my channeling, my relationship with guides and entities, and also hopefully how you can use the sharing of my story and my unfolding in your own personal life as well, especially for those of you that do already work with guides or that are channels. And I've just been sharing some of this with the Adventures in My Channel Your Guide program, and we've been kind of comparing notes on what the process of verbally channeling is like. So, as many of you know, I've been channeling Aurora for about 6 years now, and a few months ago I heard them say, "Our work is done," and kind of felt like this drop off point, like I'd just been plonked and I'd landed. And I was like, I'm not listening to that. What does that mean? Does that mean that I'm not going to channel you anymore? Does that mean that you've buggered off? Does what? And I kind of, didn't want to pay attention to that. Some of my fears came up. But what's happening at the moment is I am still connected to that collective Aurora. And what I'm understanding is that Aurora as a collective got me as Cara to a certain point. So me as a channel for readings at the moment, it's still very much the Aurora energy, the Aurora collective, and there is also this other presence I'm going to tell you about in a minute, that's kind of beginning to merge and beginning to blend with the Aurora field, but it's mainly still, if you come for a reading, the readings that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, they've been presented, it's Aurora. The energy is slightly more steady. The information coming through seems to be more profound. It's connecting and energizing people in a subtle but different way, but it's still the Aurora collective. And I think the sense I'm making of it so far is that the Aurora collective helped me set my heart field, and that means they helped me really get out of the drama triangle, really help me cement in relating to people from a love triangle point of view. I can still get triggered, but not so much these days, and that kind of being able to be in that heart field has allowed me to connect with, I'm gonna cry. It's allowed me to connect with this energy that I refer to as the ancients. And for those of you that have been following me for quite a while, and certainly those that are in the Channel Your Guide program, know my story, that it was what I call the ancients that I initially connected with when I was really exploring paganism, and when I cast a circle in my back garden and asked to be a channel of the light, and then everything changed and I started channeling Aurora. But it was the ancients. And when I was working, casting circles with my friends on the moors in the middle of the night, and it was the ancients that I was working with, and some exciting experiences there. But so they've kind of been around for a while, but really, really in the background. And I associate them with Lemuria energy. And you know that I'm really passionate about being part of this wave that is creating a heaven on earth. And I don't necessarily think that Lemuria exploded or anything negative happened. I love what Lazarus says about it, which is it's a land that imagination forgot. And what's happening in my life at the moment, so just indulge me while I share this with you, because I'm hoping that in sharing this part of my story will help you in your involvement of the next part of your story. So, the land that imagination forgot, and it reminds me so much of Avalon and the stories of Avalon, and how the mist descended over Avalon to protect it, and how unless you knew that Avalon was there, you wouldn't be able to access it. And then over time and time and time, people forgot what was beyond the mist. And it's like, if we can't believe it, we can't create it. There's that saying, isn't there, that there's a bridge of belief, and it's like you can't see over the bridge of belief. You've got to start walking the bridge to begin with, and then you get to the apex and you can see beyond the bridge into the reality. But you've got to walk the belief first. And it's all very similar to me, it's all the same thing. So I'm noticing that in my life, this working with this collective is reawakening the dreamer within me. So for that to happen, I am softening so much and allowing more of my gentleness to step to the fore. And it's a bit scary because I want to protect it, in all honesty. And it's about surrendering and trusting and allowing and having faith in a bigger way for me. So I am noticing that I am dreaming states. So I'm imagining, and then it's manifesting in my reality. If I allow it, and I'm shifting more into allowing. And what I'm also noticing on that is I am transcending any idea of divine masculine or divine feminine. In fact, I'm getting really irritated with this idea that there's a split. And the idea that divine feminine is that receptive, holding space, and the masculine is the doing and the action and the orientation. And I watched a video that I can't remember the name of the lady on it, but she articulated it really well. And that's doing the divine feminine a disservice. You know, it's not all about receptivity for divine feminine. I know that when it comes to my kids, it's not always about receipt. There's the lioness in there that says enough, no, and moving on and doing something else. You know, that protective force. So I think, in this world of duality, Aurora says that we need to find the middle way in order to transcend the polarities and the duality. And I really feel like that, in a way that I can't articulate properly, is what's happening for me working with this collective. So I'm noticing that my clothes taste is changing. I'm getting the feedback that my voice is changing. I sound different. I'm acting different. I'm having a rebrand. I think, oh, bless him, I promised Ian that this is the last one for 2 years. But this one is, I'm in love with it because it just feels really in resonance with this new gentleness that's wanting to be birthed into the world. And I think it's part of that Lemurian energy. And if you work with your guide, this is what I've just been sharing in the Channel Your Guide program. If you work consciously with a guide, or you're a channel, one of the things that can get in the way, or one of the problems can be because you're not able to verbally receive the messages. And so I know that we want concrete information, and it's really good to get that verbal communication going. So I'm not suggesting that we don't do that, but I am suggesting there's a different way. So we can mentally connect with our guides and receive information that way. We can energetically connect with them and allow them to speak through you like I do with Aurora. And then there's the next step. And it's either that this is our next step that we're going to do as channels, or that it's just one that's always available. I don't know. Maybe we don't need to verbally channel anymore as channels. So what I'm noticing, because I'm not verbally channeling them, and if you're working with a guide or a collective, you can just set the intention to allow your energies to merge with them, to allow them to merge with your own, and let them feed into your body. The hardest thing is opening up to that love. And I go into detail in the program of how to do that. But see yourself as a partner. See yourself as in partnership with the guide, your guide. If you're not currently working with a guide, you can just set the intention that you want to partner with the highest level guide who's most in resonance with your highest good right now. That's a language that's going to cover all your bases and all your fears, if you've got any. And allow their energies to merge with yours. And what I'm noticing is, with this collective, is that their energies are amplifying that which wants to be birthed within me next. It's a natural evolution. And I'm finding that I'm wanting to make different decisions. I'm wanting to make different choices. I'm responding in a different way. Like I said, everything's kind of softening. I'm more allowing. I'm changing my clothes taste quite dramatically. and I don't know if I've already said this, but I feel like I am radically I'm being radically different to anything like I've ever been, like a real almost personality transformation, and yet I'm just home. I feel home. So that means for me that I've reached a deeper level of authenticity, and it's happening and unfolding naturally. It's not forced, which is very new for me. I normally go after things. So it's more of a natural unfolding. So if you are a channel or if you work with guides, practice just sitting and allowing their energies to merge with you. Let them in. And we don't have to make a big deal of it. You know, walking around during the day, set the intention, ask them to clear things out of your energy system. As anxieties come up, just set the intention, call them in, ask them to clear it, move on. It's not a big deal. I don't think, what I'm noticing is as I'm allowing more grace to be part of this process, there's ease in allowing shit to go, old stories to go. I just don't want to hang on to them anymore. So if you want to dive deeper into it, you might want to join my Channel Your Guide program, because we meet up twice a month in there at the moment as well, where we do Q&As and we do collective clearings, and we work with our guides and with that energy to clear any blocks that we might have. So you might want to dive in deeper with that. I hope that's been useful. We're all in this together, and I really want us to share our collective experiences as channels and light workers and empaths, so that we can be stronger channels of the light and be the change that we want to see in physical reality. Okay, bye for now.